rockin' in a Rocky Hill, the best place to live if you're Jack or Jill. Take a walk to the riverside, put in your boat and you take a ride. We're rockin' in Rocky Hill. We're rockin' in Rocky Hill, the best place to live if you're Jane or Bill. Take your dog to the new dog park, dance with your friends at Elmridge Park. We're rockin' in Rocky Hill.
We're ready. We're going to start off. So here's Jack right over here.
Okay.
Jack Casella.
My name's Jack Casella. Welcome. You're all in for a fun, interactive program today entitled Songs About Rocky Hill. It's a presentation of songs and stories by our society president at Chiucarello and self-described nitpicker at Chiucarello. Ed will be joined by Keith Burns on bass and Pastor Ron Cox on guitar. You might notice something different today at the museum. Through a grant from the Connecticut Humanities, we were able to install new lighting below and paint the entire downstairs. We think it looks pretty good, and hope you'll see it. Many thanks to that organization. The Historical Society is an all-volunteer organization. For those interested in getting involved, you can talk with any of the folks in the lovely maroon shirts. Membership and volunteer opportunities are always available in a variety of areas. Donations are not required, but if you'd like, you can leave a little donation at the front. We are open on Saturdays from 12:30 to 3 and by appointment. You can also visit our website, rhhistory.org, which is full of exciting information about Rocky Hill, documents, oral histories, videos, and more. Even an online store for those interested in purchasing our town historians books and Christmas ornaments, or also membership. For your information, the program is being recorded, so smile pretty when you come. We want to thank you for attending today's program, and without further ado, I'd like to introduce Songs About Rocky Hill.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon and welcome to Songs About Rocky Hill, a collection of songs about Rocky Hill. There you go. You're already a step ahead. My good friend Keith Burns over here and I have been playing for a number of years. We first started out at Dinosaur Park days, and so thank Keith for coming. He has been the society bass player. We're going to have Pastor Ron, as Jack said, come up and sing the official Rocky Hill town song. Did you know that there was an official Rocky Hill town song? Raise your hand if you did. So for those who did not, then now you do, and you're going to have to memorize it before you leave today. We'll also listen to a recording of Rudy Burgess. Raise your hand if you know Rudy Burgess. Sorry, I'm a former teacher, so I might say raise your hand a few times. I apologize for that. Rudy is going to, we're going to hear a recording of Rocky Hill is My Hometown that Rudy wrote. Many of the songs you hear today are originals that I wrote since I moved to town with my beautiful wife Alexis, who's back there with my mother-in-law. Great wave, Lexi, so they know who you are. I sound much better when other people are singing, and Alexis sings all the time at the house, so I hope that you can sing. Tim, why don't you flip to the next slide? And these are the songs that we're going to be singing today. Don't put that in front of you. Back in 2011, Scott Coleman asked me to write a song about Rocky Hill, and so I wrote the next song. The first song we called "Rockin' in Rocky Hill," and I wrote an R&B song, and I think he was looking for more of an anthem, and so it ended up in the digital dustbin of my computer. But now you're going to hear the first song, "Rockin' in Rocky Hill." And it's got reference to the places in Rocky Hill that you know, Elmridge Park, the Riverside, and it uses the word Dilophosaurus. Trying to get that into a rhyming section there. And our highway department, who does a great job, and the snow is scared to fall in Rocky Hill, actually, because of that. Your part goes like this. We're rockin', rockin' in Rocky Hill. Try it. We're rockin', rockin' in Rocky Hill. One more time. I like it. We're rockin', rockin' in Rocky Hill. We're rockin' in Rocky Hill. Best place to live if Jack or Jill. Take them down to the riverside. Put in a boat and shake a ride. We're rockin', rockin' in Rocky Hill. We're rockin' in Rocky Hill. Best place to live if you Jane or Bill. Take your dog to the old dog park. Dance with your friends at Elbridge Park. We're rockin', rockin' in Rocky Hill. We'll pick your brush up on the street side. We'll plow like you've never seen before. We'll get your taxes to you on time, so you can send some more. We're rockin' in Rocky Hill. Best place to live if you Jeff or Will. Get off the highway, stop for a while, see a Dilophosaurus, dinosaurs. We're rockin', rockin' in Rocky Hill. You got it. We're rockin', rockin' in Rocky Hill. We'll pick your brush up on the street side. We'll plow like you've never seen before. We'll get your taxes to you on time, so you can send some more. We're rockin' in Rocky Hill. Best place to live if you Jeff or Will. Get off the highway and explore. Dilophosaurus, dinosaurs. We're rockin', rockin' in Rocky Hill. We're rockin', rockin' in Rocky Hill. We're rockin', rockin' in Rocky Hill. Thank you very much. So, if I have to define myself, and I don't like to do it too much, I will define myself partially as a nitpicker. And I think the nitpicker might have the wrong connotation, because the nitpicker that I know, they find error or faults in things, right? But not only do they do that, but they find a solution too. So that's the kind of nitpicker I would like to be. I am nitpicker number 2, and nitpicker number 1 is right over there. It's Charlie Wisnowski. Charlie, wave your hand. Many of you are nitpickers. You're a nitpicker if you get annoyed at things, right? Maybe the government annoys you. Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe. Maybe you're walking down the street and you see litter. And that annoys you. What do? You pick it up. Maybe you're walking down the sidewalk and the sidewalk ends. What do? Call Kim Ritchie? Kim Ritchie's our town planner. Give her a hand. Love Kim. Well, there's lots to get annoyed about. Certainly little things, but big things too. You know, affordable housing, food insecurity, flooding in the meadow, especially now. In essence, we're all nitpickers. There you go. So up on the board, or up on the screen, is the song that I wrote called Nitpickers and River Rats. More on river rats later, but it goes like this. I'll sing it, then you can sing it, then we'll sing it together. It goes like this. We're nitpickers and river rats. You know what a NIMBY is? Not in my backyard. Old and young and in between.
Old and young and in between.
And in our veins the color green.
In our veins the color green.
Now we're going to sing that all together. You're not going to echo me again, but we're going to try to do that all together. 1, 2, 3. We're nitpickers and river rats, Chiucarello and NIMBY rats, old and young and in between, and in our veins the color green. We belong to the society, the riverfront and history, the club, the trust, the town council. Watch us when we ring the bell. We're nitpickers and river rats, Chiucarello and NIMBY rats, old and young and in between, and in our veins the color green. Well, CRA and P&Z, open spaces where we'll be. What we'd really rather do is sing and play the whole day through. We're nitpickers and river rats, Chiucarello and NIMBY rats, old and young and in between, and in our veins the color green. Oh no, not again. One more time, there is no end. We sit and talk, we listen well. Developers can go to hell. We're the pickers and river rats, Chiucarello and NIMBY rats, old and young and in between, and in our veins the color green. Let's try it again. We're the pickers and river rats, Chiucarello and NIMBY rats, old and young and in between, and in our veins the color green. That's really the only controversial word you hear, you know, developers could go to hell. There's a lot of good developers. You just make that note. Let me turn this baby back up so I don't forget about it. I moved into town in 1995 with Alexis, and we were looking for a house along the water. We wanted to buy a house near the water. And so what we did was we drove up and down the Connecticut River. And I found a listing in Rocky Hill on Riverview Road, one of the prettiest roads in Rocky Hill. I said to my wife, well, let's meet there. So we met there, and I drove down the hill, if you know Riverview, and Alexis drove up the hill. And I had done a little research already, and I knew that Rocky Hill had, you know, right there around Riverview, you had the quarry, the Meadows was out there, and of course, the river, Connecticut River. Alexis came up the hill, and she went, you know, down Glassberry Avenue. She saw the foundry, and she said to me, what would you want to live around here for? There's an old factory down there, there's broken glass, and it really was a sight back there in 1995. You know, it really was nasty.
It's still there.
And well, the building's not there anymore. So, I said to her, well, if we move into town, that's one of the things I will work on. I always thought that whenever we bought a house, I would become active. I would become an activist, otherwise known as Nitpicker. So I formed the Riverview Concern. I went up and down the street. One of my neighbors is right here, and I asked people to sign a petition, and we got the place boarded up. And then I met Jim Zagrova, who lives right down by the river, and Jim and I put together groups. He had a Friends of Ferry Park going, and so we created the Riverfront Preservation Society after that. But a long introduction to get into the song, Knock Down the Foundry. Is it up there already? Yeah, Knock Down the Foundry. It's to the tune of Havana Gila, so I'm not going to teach you this. Those of you who know Havana Gila, just sing along, and you'll get it the second time if you don't have it the first time. But we're going to do it 3 times. First slow, medium, and then fast. And I will tell you that we Nitpickers, a group of us, did sing this to the town council. We did. Feel free. Knock down the foundry, knock down the foundry, knock down the foundry, take it down today. Knock down the foundry, knock down the foundry, knock down the foundry, take it down today. Make it free public space. We want a happy place for all our family, children to come. Make it a river park, don't need no shopping carts. We got a CBS on the Silas D. Will you take it? Will you take it? Take the foundry. 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 Make it safe, knock it down. For generations to come. Knock down the foundry, knock down the foundry, knock down the foundry, take it down today. Knock down the foundry, knock down the foundry, knock down the foundry, take it down today. Make it great public space. We want a happy place for all our family, children to come. Make it a river park, don't need no shopping carts. We got a CBS on the Silas D. Will you take it? Will you take it? Take the foundry. 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 Knock it down, make it safe for generations to come. Knock down the foundry, knock down the foundry, take it down today. Oh, knock down the foundry, knock down the foundry, knock down the foundry, take it down today. Make it free public space. We want a happy place for all family, children to come. Make it a river park, don't need no shopping cart. We got CBS on the Silas D. Will you take it? Take the foundry. 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 Knock it down, make it safe for generations to Yeah, you guys sound great, man. You sound fantastic. I so appreciate it. We're going to invite Pastor Ron to come on up. Come on up. You all know Pastor Ron, right? Ron Cox. Come on up. Give him a hand. Ron.
Shalom.
Hello, there you go. Ron, Pastor Ron, an angel walking among us. I love the guy here. I met Pastor Ron many years ago when, I think it was when you actually did that song. when he wrote the song. He is the chaplain for the Rocky Hill Volunteer Fire Department. He's on the Commission for Inclusion and Innovation. And he's an author. He's a children's book author. So he's written a book just recently. The name is?
You Are You, You Are Special, a story of belonging.
When I first met him, when I saw him, he played this song to the town council, and I looked at him and I went, yeah, he's a nitpicker. Good trouble, that's what he meant. Pastor Ron and I played this song a number of times back in the day, but I would say, remind you, we asked our then park and rec director, Lisa Zerio, we said to her, well, how would you like us to play Rocky Hill is My Home in front of at the Elmridge Park concerts? We could play it in front of every band. We thought it was a good way of teaching, Rocky Hill is the official town song. That didn't happen, did it? No, that did not happen. And we're here to play it for you. We're going to do this song 2 times. So first time you hear it, you'll be like, and the second time you'll know it a little bit more. So, Rocky Hill is My Home.
Oh, I thought we were going. Sorry. Come on, get with the program.
Literally get with the program.
How's everybody today? Is this not a marvelous event today?
Thank you.
I think you ought to give your appreciation for these people pulling this off. See if we get the words right. Ready?
You wrote it.
That doesn't mean anything. 2, 3, and...
You got it now? Now sing it with vim and vigor. One more time. Here we go. Vim and vigor. Here we go. Rocky Hill is my home. It's a town where I belong. It's a place of home.
Hill is my home. Rocky Hill is my home. It's the town where I belong. It's a place of home and family. Rocky Hill is my home. It's the town where I belong. It's a place of time and history. We're here to stay and point the way to make a better day. For Rocky Hill is my home. Yes, Rocky Hill is my home. Woo!
Thank you very much, Dave. Thank you. I do want to tell you, I did contact the music teachers in town, the Board of Ed. I had some emails back and forth, and they couldn't make it today, but I know there's some Rocky Hill songs in our elementary schools. We have the third grade tour that comes around. They go to the church, the Congregational Church, here to the ferry, to the Fire Museum, to the Chiucarello Library. And when they come here, I say, hey, you guys got any songs in here? You know, third graders, right? Because I'm a former music teacher. And so one day they went like this. They went, rock, rock, Rocky Hill, rock, rock, Rocky Hill. And that's all I got. And that was it. And I'm trying to get in touch with that music teacher to have some kids or get a recording, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. But, you know, one of the most beloved schools in Rocky Hill, if you've been around for a while, is what? What school? Moser School. And Moser School was named originally for Warren A. Moser, who was a doctor. And when they knocked it down, I think it was 2019, and they built the new one, the Historical Society, and we thought, well, you know what? Let's name it for his son, David, as well. Dr. David Moser was our first mayor. So they did that. And now it's called Moser School. And if we knew then what we knew now, we would have included Christine E. Moser into this. If you knew Christine, she was very active in the Congregational Church, the Friends of the Chiucarello Library, and here as well. Christine, before she passed, started a foundation. And that foundation, the Christine E. Moser Foundation, has supported all of those institutions that I just named. The computer over there, the bookshelves upstairs, the signs that are around now, and the 5 more that will be around soon. Those were all supported by the Christine Moser Foundation. So if we were to write, or if we were to do it again, we would say, let's have Christine in here. So when I hear Moser School, I think of Christine as well. And she was a banjo player. Come on. 4-string banjo, too. So we're going to sing the Moser School song, and I'm going to ask you if you would act like third graders, just for this song. I mean, not for the rest of the time. We're going to sing this one twice, too, so you get it. It's a quick one, though. You see it up there? 1, 2, 3. Moser is the place to be. Pass the happy news along. Sing this song so cheerfully. Pass the happy news along. Pass the happy news along. Pass the happy news along. At Moser School you can't go wrong. Listen to our special song. Pass the happy news along. Now where's Tim and Trigger go?
You're hiding.
You heard it one time. Let's give it a whirl. 1, 2, 3. Moser is the place to be. Pass the happy news along. Sing this song so cheerfully. Pass the happy news along. Pass right. Give Pastor Ron a hand. He was out of control there for a second. We did it a third time. I was saying, woo.
I was ready to do church, so I almost took you someplace you weren't expected to go.
As I said to you, we're going to listen to a song by Rudy Burgess. How many people knew Rudy here? If you knew Rudy, you loved him and you liked him, he was a great guy. Rudy came and he participated in the Historical Society's winter holiday open house all the time, and he used to sing with us. And we're lucky to have Bob here in our town historian. Bob, wave your hand over there. Bob here. If you don't know Bob, Bob is our town historian. Yeah. He is the Rufus Griswold of the time, of our time. If you don't know what I'm talking about, talk to me later. I'm not going to explain it. But Bob could explain it to you if you want. But Bob did a oral history on Rudy, and it's up on our website. You can see it on our website. And I asked Rudy before, I said, Rudy, bring your guitar, man, sing a couple of songs. And he did. He played 2 songs for us. And they're both on our website under oral history. But this one here, we picked for today because he entitled it Rocky Hill's My Hometown. And Pastor Ron, I would say that you inspired Rudy to write a song. He said, you know, I'm going to write a song. And so he wrote it not too long ago. It was after Pastor Ron did his. Rudy was a pharmacist by day, and he was a musician by night. He loved to sing and play, tell jokes. He sang for the community center senior serenaders. Let's say that. And he moved into town in 1951. So if you could imagine 1951 in Rocky Hill, a lot of you could imagine it. I can see it in your eyes right now. 1951 is before Route 91 was there. So there was nothing splitting the town in half. A lot more agricultural. And Rudy and his wife lived in Hartford. And his wife said to him once, she said, I'm not spending one more summer in this hot 3rd floor Hartford apartment. So Rudy went to try to find a place to live, to buy a house. And so at night, he was shown a house. And through some dexterity of his own, he was able to buy it. And so he writes about some of the natural things, and I think it really portrays Rocky Hill in a beautiful way. So let's give a listen to this song.
Rocky Hill is my hometown, lots of memories here. While I laugh out in my backyard, coyote, fox, and deer. We have footprints from the past in our dinosaur park. Come visit us and see them, there's lots of room to park. A ferry on the river is the oldest in the land. At Elmridge Park in summer, we gather to hear the band. We have well-marked walking trails along the riverfront. And for historic houses, you don't even have to hunt. Good schools and churches, parks for kids to play. Historical society preserving yesterday. The stories of shipbuilding, the history of our farms. Police and volunteer firemen protect us from all harm. Our town, located in the center of the state, has access to all highways, and that's great. So come and take a tour with me when you have time to kill. Learn all about my old hometown, the town of Rocky Hill.
We need a chorus for that.
Yeah, beautiful. the song. Thank you, Rudy. I apologize, but I'm going to say the F word one more time. The Foundry. I'm not a crazy person. I do listen to what's going on, and it took so long to knock the Foundry down that I had to write another song. It closed in 1983, and 30 years later, in 2013, it was finally knocked down. I used the melody for another song, and but I wrote some lyrics, and we did sing this to the town council. But you see up on the board, it says that the town's redevelopment commission actually passed an ordinance that Rocky Hill should take the Foundry property for use as a public park. They wanted to take it by eminent domain for a public park with some commercial to offset the maintenance of the park. They never foreclosed on it, but they did spend a lot of time in court. And the plan now that was approved is 97 condos and with about 300 parking places. That's about where they are now. There's a picture of the plan over there in that display. That was agreed to in 2013, and 10 years later, nothing yet, huh? So most of the time when people talk about the Foundry, they go, then I'd like to see if they do it in my lifetime. But sadly, I've seen a lot of people go from town, and it hasn't happened. David Cook for one. Anyways, this song, "Foreclosed on the Old Foundry," it goes foreclosed, foreclosed, foreclosed on the old Foundry. Won't you listen to us? We want that land saved for posterity. Foreclosed on that old Foundry. Want to try it? Foreclosed, foreclosed, foreclosed on the old Foundry. Won't you listen to us? We want that land saved for posterity. Foreclosed on the old Foundry. There's an eyesore of a building at the end of my street. My good neighbors try to get it clean, but the town won't move their feet. We've been to every meeting, and our message is brief. Foreclose on that old Foundry. Foreclose, 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 foreclose on the old Foundry. Won't you listen to us? We want that land saved for posterity. Foreclose on that old Foundry. There's no mystery to doing it. All you need is will. There are tons of grants, to fit the bill. There's money from the town, and there's money from the state. Take that building before it's too late. Foreclose, 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 foreclose on the old Foundry. Won't you listen to us? We want that land saved for posterity. Foreclose on that old Foundry. Have political resolve and back your promises. You campaigned on open space. We'll hold you to this. Please listen to my neighbors who care as much as you when you think about the right thing to do. Foreclose, foreclose, foreclose on the old Foundry. Won't you listen to us? We want that land saved for posterity. Foreclose on that old Foundry. One more time. Foreclose, foreclose, foreclose on the old Foundry. Won't you listen to us? great. You all sound fantastic. Thank you so much for singing. I do sound better when other people are singing with me. It's a little like Pete Seeger, right? That's all I want. That's all I want. I'm tangled up here. Anyone who lives along the river, I was told by an old friend of mine, and can swim the river, is called, can name themselves, can call themselves a river rat. Have you ever heard that? No? No. Well, this is what Jim Zagroba told me many years ago. And he said that if you want to be a river rat, you got to swim the river. One day, I'm out pruning my roses, and I see Jim coming down the street on his motorcycle, and he says, "Are you ready?" I says, "Am I ready for what, Jim?" He says, "Well, you want to be a river rat, right?" I says, "Yeah." This is a long time ago. My risk tolerance was very different. But I recall it was the weekend. And if anybody knows the Connecticut River in Rocky Hill, on the weekend, if you want to swim across it, mamma mia, right? There's, first of all, you got the big ferry that's going back and forth, and then you got boats that are going up, and jet skis, and there's a no-wake zone, I'll grant you that. But anyways, I said yes, and there I was out at Jim's house. Before I knew it, boom, Jim was diving into the water, and I was coming right after him. We're both swimming across the river. And I see Jim, all of a sudden I see Jim starting to go south. And I yelled, I said, "Jim, you all right?" And of course he couldn't hear me because the boats are, all the noise and whatnot. And I'm trying to head straight across to where the ferry landing is on Glastonbury side. And I'm doing a pretty good job. And finally we both made it to the other side of the river. I said, Jim came up, and he was like 100 yards down the river. And I said, "Jim, you all right, man?" And he said, "Ed, my shorts fell down to my ankles." Make a note, if you want to swim the river, use the current. So we walked upriver and we floated back down. But if you know anything, or a little bit of history about the Connecticut River, it's been a precious entity. We are a river town. The Connecticut River was formed from glacial Lake Hitchcock over 15,000 years ago. It busted through the Rocky Hill ice dam. The indigenous Wangunks lived in the meadows in 1100 AD. Think about the history that we have. Adrian Black and all the Europeans sailed up this river. Colonial Americans sailed down it during the Revolution and beyond that. And if the Connecticut River doesn't need nitpicking, I don't know what does. So I wrote this next song in hopes of doing a little nitpicking for the river. Your part goes like this. It goes, "Tell me now, tell me now." Pretty simple. Got it? Tell me now, tell me now. You got it. Do you know the scenic river that runs through my neighborhood? Endangered plants and wildlife that live among the wood. Do you know the tidal river that runs past the meadows dear? How can we keep it sacred? Won't you tell me if you hear? Tell me now. Oh, the river runs past banks that are ashore. Tell me now. Let the river run nature's path and door. Do you know about the water and the freshets in the spring? The farms and fields and parking lots all covered just the same. Have you seen the raging river that will hold no buildings there? How can we keep it sacred? Won't you tell me if you hear? Tell me now. Oh, the river runs past banks that are on shore. Tell me now. Let the river run, let nature's path endure. Do you know the narrow streets that funnel to the river's edge? The ducks in line at Ferry Park, the grandma across the bridge. Have you been down to the river in the winter's cold blue air? How can we keep it safe? build some condos by the riverside and desecrate our landscape scene from far and wide. Please help us keep our river free, fight proudly without fear. How can we keep it sacred? Won't you tell me if you hear? Tell me now, the river runs past banks that aren't shore. Tell me now, let the river run, that nature's path endure. Tell me now, all the river run, that's banks that aren't shore. Tell me now, let the river run, let nature's path endure. Tell me now, hold it now, come on. Tell me now, come on. Tell me now, big ending here we go. Tell me now. Thank you. Tell me now. One of the most alluring aspects of Rocky Hill is the Connecticut River, right? And the first kayak I ever bought, I bought it from my son when he was about this big. And we went down to Colchester and purchased it from this guy who looked like the spitting image of John Denver. So we called it Annie Blue. That's the name. It was Blue, and Annie, the song Annie that John Denver wrote. And one early morning at sunrise, Arden and I went for a paddle. And even though it's pretty much impossible to put into words, we songwriters still try. Your part goes like this. Living along the river, only one thing to do. Got to get on the river and battle my Annie Blue. I'll try it again. Living along the river, only one thing to do. Got to get on the river, battle my Annie Blue. Heading north in the morning, putting in Rocky Hill. Kayak cutting the water like nothing else will. Water smooth, flat and flowing. It's quiet in the morning air. Sun just rising above the tree line. Mist is everywhere. Living along the river, only one thing to do. Got to get on the river, battle my Annie Blue. Riding past Glastonbury, past the old coal docks, meet roaring brook at the river's bend. Don't want this day to stop. Spotted eagles and herons, ducks and beavers too, on the Connecticut River. Oh, nothing else will do. Living along the river, only one thing to do. Got to get on the river, battle my Annie Blue. Scooting west across the river, over to White Sands. See the sunken sailboat, wind pushes like a fan. Kick our feet up on top of the boat, rested our paddles beside. Let the river take us home, we're riding with the tide. Living along the river, only one thing to do. Hey, little baby, hi. Yeah, nice. Good to see you. No more Charlie?
He had a commitment to pick up somebody and take them to the train station.
We got the big hit song Wisniewski right now. I have not run for political office. I've been on a number of commissions. I'm on the Park and Rec Advisory Board, and of course I'm the president of the Historical Society, but I'm on the Sustainable Rocky Hill Task Force right now, and I'm on the PIC Committee, which is the Plan Implementation Committee of the Plan of Conservation and Development, but not running for office. I give a lot of credit to people who do, and Charlie Wisniewski, who was not here, Charlie was here before, he ran for council back, I don't know when it was, but it was a while back ago, and Charlie and I helped him make signs, and you can see some of the signs that are up there. I don't know if it was the signs that he made or the song that I wrote, but Charlie didn't elect it to the council. Old, was it old?
Yeah.
That's Sean. Was he close?
And he wasn't at a party. He was his own party.
I know, that's right. Charlie is an independent thinker. That's one thing we can say about Charlie. Charlie, he had Nitpicker #1. I wrote this song for him. I'll play. Well, it's to the melody of a familiar tune. Let's just go right into the song itself. Your part is Wisniewski. You go Wisniewski. Vote for Charlie Wisniewski. Well, I tell you very confidently, vote Wisniewski. 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 Vote for Charlie Wisniewski. Well, I tell you very confidently, vote Wisniewski. Just cast your vote in his direction. Vote C6 on this election. You'll never regret it, I repeat. Vote for Charlie Wisniewski. Well, I tell you very confidently, vote Wisniewski. Charlie's a great guy. I don't know what I would do without him. Nitpicker #1. What song? Yeah, so thank you so much for coming. We have 2 more songs left, and I thank you so much for coming on a beautiful, beautiful day like today. The weather is just perfect out there. What song or what program songs about Rocky Hill would be complete without a song about the ferry? Right? We need a song about the ferry. The oldest continuously running ferry service in the U.S. of A. So I ask you, who in their right mind would consider stopping such a historic, iconic, transporting, tourist attractive service?
Governor Malloy.
There's the answer. Governor Malloy, back in 2011, wanted to either stop it or curtail it in some way. And talk about being annoyed. That annoyed me greatly. I had a friend, Peter Maxwell, who now lives out in Ohio, but he was a representative to Prague for the Connecticut River ferry. So he and I went down to our other ferry friends down in Chester and Hadley, right? And we met in the meeting house, and at that point I was so inspired, I actually created a song right there, and I sang it. Didn't even know I had the song in my head. But it's called Save Our Ferries. Let's do that together. On the Connecticut River, our stitching time stays nigh. Perfect. And the other part that you have is you have to echo me on Save Our Ferries. I go, save our ferries, save our ferries, save our ferries, save our ferries. Our road lane from west to east, and you say east to west, because it goes both ways. Right? Right? Save our ferries. road linked from west to east.
and east to west.
You got it. Now, you might be saying, stitching time saves 9. What is that? What does that mean? And so, it's an old expression, right? You're in a historical society, so this is what we do. We use old things, like gilding the lily, as my Bob Heron taught me. Stitching time saves 9 means that you sort out a problem immediately, and it will pay a lot of extra dividends in the future. So that was my message to Governor Malloy was, take care of it now and forget about it in the future. You know what I mean? We started off with whistling. 1, 2, and 1. From 1655 up to this present day, our ferry floats across, captains working hard each day. From Rocky Hill to Glastonbury, Chester to Headline, on the old Connecticut River, a stitch in time saves 9. Save our ferry,
Save our ferry,
save our ferry,
save our ferry,
our road linked from west to east.
and east to west.
Save our ferry,
Save our ferry,
save our ferry,
save our ferry,
our road linked from west to east.
and east to west.
For months and months and months, our state budget's all we've heard. The governor's plan to close the ferry is absurd, because it still carries people, cars and trucks and bikes, on the old Connecticut River. A stitch in time saves 9. Save our ferry,
Save our ferry,
save our ferry,
save our ferry,
our road linked from west to east.
and east to west.
Save our ferry, save our ferry, our road linked from west to east.
And east to west.
Save Cumberland the barge and Hollister the tug. Ryder, call the governor, don't let him pull the plug. From Rocky Hill to Glastonbury, history's on our side. On the old Connecticut River, a stitch in time saves 9. Save our ferry,
Save our ferry,
save our ferry,
save our ferry,
our road linked from west to east.
and east to west.
Save our ferry, save our ferry, our road linked from west to east.
And east to west.
Tourists take the Selden 3 from Gillette to Essex train. Now the governor's threatened businesses with economic pain. From Chester to Headline, go and take a ride on the old Connecticut River. A stitch in time saves 9. Save our ferry,
Save our ferry,
save our ferry,
save our ferry,
our road linked from west to east.
and east to west.
Save our ferry, save our ferry, our road linked from west to east.
And east to west.
Save our ferry, save our ferry, our road linked from west to east.
And east to west.
Thank you once again so much for coming. We're happy to have you here in Academy Hall. It's great to see this place buzzing once again. We've been here since 1967. Really, it started in 1962. And if you look, there's a little timeline of pictures of Academy Hall. In the 1960s, they were going to knock this place down. I mean, the windows were all broken, and it was in bad repair. So volunteers did it, man. So must have been some nitpicking happening back then. I have a feeling I followed along in Chris Sprague, June Cook, David Cook, all those folks, you know. Yeah. So this is the last song, and if you are a Facebook user, anybody use Facebook here? You probably do. You probably don't want to admit it, so I'm not going to ask you. I don't want you to raise your hands. I'm sorry to put you on the spot there. But a while back, it must have been 2 years ago, I posted a song on Facebook. I recorded a song called Which Side Are You On? And Which Side Are You On was an old protest song written by Florence Reese during the Kentucky coal mine strikes. And it went something like, which side are you on? Which side are you on? And I included the words, I rewrote the song, and I included the words Democrats and Republicans. Then I put it out on Facebook. Then I got responses. And so you see some of the responses. I'll sit down for a second. And, you know, I got a variety of responses. Farmer Fran, you know, Hayes Farm, Fran Whalen said, hey, we got to stop the division. You know, that's, you know, Jackie Farnham she posted, what did she say with there?
Yes. Vote.
Oh, we got to make each other feel better, right? An old high school friend, Jack Charlo, wrote Dig, Peace, and Love. And my brother, who's back there, you can raise your hand, my brother. He's right back there. That's my big brother. He wrote, like he does, a thesis. A former teacher and nitpicker himself. He wrote, man, we got to unify. It's unity we need, you know? We can't divide. We need to compromise. You got to extend an olive branch, you know? Damn. Did I miss it or what? And so no, I didn't miss it. I'm going to write another song. So I used all of those lyrics. I didn't write one of my own. Or maybe I did. Maybe there's one line in there I wrote for myself. But this song is a Facebook song. And it came strictly from those posts. Your part in this is to sing one word, unity. And if you can sing that all the way through, that'd be great. Lexi, I don't know if you want to come up for that. No? I asked Alexis at the beginning, Lexi, will you come up and sing this one? But one word, sing it all the way through. We got a little intro that Keith and I just made up like today, and we're going to try to get there.
Unity to
unity, peace and love. Unity, everybody start singing now. Come on and work together. Unity, 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 unity. Unity, 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 Thank you once again for coming down, and feel free to hang around if you want to look at some of the displays. Thank you so much.
We're nitpickers and river rats, tree huggers and NIMBY brats, old and young and in between, and in our veins the color green. CRA and P&Z, hope in space is where we'll be, but truly what we'd rather do is sing and play the whole day through. We're nitpickers and